Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Kevin Barnett, Jim Holley. Practice report here from Houston. Jim, good looking track. A track with a lot of round sections to it. It's going to be fast tonight.
Well, it is, but the thing I like about it is, you know, these guys can pass. I mean, we've seen some passes in practice with the guys going back and forth, but I want to hear about those times because my man Kevin Windham, fast time in both sessions.
Okay, we'll get to Windham in just a second. Let's start with that lights class, and Blake Baggett, who's had his struggles this Supercross championship season, has come back and put down both sessions at the top.
You know, and I did an interview with him, Kevin, earlier on the track walk, and that's what I was hounding him about. I go, man, your practice times have not been good. Obviously, you know, Mitch Payton hasn't had a win on the East Coast with Darren Durham and Baggett. They've had seconds and thirds, and, you know, Baggett with that horrible finish last weekend, he wants to come back here in Houston and try to redeem himself, and maybe tonight's the night. I mean, that's all about confidence. He knows he's fast now if he can get those starts. You know, may see Blake Baggett get his first win in 2012.
Baggett fast in both sessions, and Barsha, Durham, Stewart, Roxon session number 1, and Bogle down hard in that session. Not really sure what happened. Looked like he might have been bucked, but he went down hard, came back for session number 2, but seemed to be a little rattled. And a young guy takes a fall like that. He's taken a couple of falls in recent weeks. Does that get to them mentally?
I think so, and you got to remember, like you talked about recently in Toronto, he had that horrible crash. So, I mean, and coming back here to Houston now, a week later, and you have another practice crash. I mean, you know, the guy is fast. We've seen him in the past set fast time and have good finishes, but maybe he's starting to feel the effects and maybe starting to lose a little bit of that confidence. But Bogle's a tough competitor. He'll be strong for tonight. Okay,
running down that second practice for the lights, Baggett, Barsha, Durham, Roxon, and Matt Lemoyne stepping back up in there. He's been in the mix occasionally.
Yeah, Matt Lemoyne, you know, this is a hometown race for him. You know, we talked to him a little bit a couple weeks ago. He said, I can't wait to get to Houston, and maybe tonight Matt Lemoyne can get on that box also. He needs to get up there for his confidence also.
Speaking of hometown races, move on to the Supercross class, and you mentioned it earlier. Kevin Windham, who led this race last year before throwing it away, was fast in both sessions.
Well, and you know, you mentioned that, and the thing is that, you know, that's a practice session. You still got 20 laps out there, and you still got a lot of guys pushing. Practice is a little bit different than race conditions. You know, you can lay down some good times, but Kevin Windham, hopefully he can get a win here and redeem himself from last year. I know that he was frustrated with himself that he threw away last year, but, you know, if he had to throw it away, hey, no better than Trey Kennard, because Trey Kennard got his first here last year. Maybe Kevin Windham can get his first of 2012 here in Houston.
Windham and Villapoto a second faster than everybody else in session number 1, and then session number 2 about the same speed for the Supercross class, and James Stewart crept into that third spot, the only other guy to get into a 46 lap time. Stewart, there's still been debate. You talk to his crew. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Is he going to race? Still, I think, up in the air.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if anything tells, you know, that's last and final time practice, he was a little bit better. I know that I went into his pits afterwards. They had the cylinder off. They had the head off that Yamaha, and they put something else on it. It seemed to work because he looked a lot better in that final time practice.
They're hitting some creative parts of the track. There's a big long sweeper off a ski jump. We saw Stewart clear the ski jump, the only guy to jump over it from a small knuckle before, and then coming out of that big long left-hander after the ski jump, there's a triple in section. Guys were wheel tapping over it and discovering different lines.
Kevin Windham, the fastest in that section. I mean, we were watching all along. Davey Millsap's had a good time going through there, you know, but the key is just to get over the triple, not quite tap it, land on the backside, and carry that momentum as they get into the whoops.
Okay, the Supercross class, Windham, Villapoto, Stewart, Brayton, and Millsaps in practice number 2. Note Josh Hansen back. He's back in the action. You can catch the action all day here on our Facebook page, facebook.com/supercrosslive, twitter.com/supercrosslive for updates on what's happening with the racing action. And then it'll be on CBS tomorrow. Check your local listings. CBS has the Supercross class, and Speed has the lights.
And we talked earlier, you had mentioned that Josh Hansen coming back. Well, they also got a new rider filling in for Josh Hill. We've talked about it before, the privateer, Michael Horban. We've seen him, you know, he's his own mechanic. He gets to the race there, but what a good opportunity for the privateer, Michael Horban, 143, out there on the Hart-Huntington ride.
Yeah, give Horban a look. He's got a great opportunity, perhaps, make some inroads for next year. I'm Kevin, he's Jim. It's Houston. Going to be another great night of racing. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow on Speed and check our Facebook page for updates on the racing tonight.